Foreign investors that you want to drive away, they only contribute 20%. 80% comes from the local farms. Now, it's fragmented. They are small, right? This is like saying, because you are winning, I can't win.
We're hoping to see another circle, because after this, you know, what goes around definitely comes around.
It will definitely.
This administration has shown us that they will get it done. It took one speech to remove fuel subsidy. It did not take them how long to pass a new national anthem, right? So if you were that committed to low-hanging fruit that can improve the lives of Nigerians, it would get done. To then end up in this point where something that really in everybody's perception is a nice to have is then what we're discussing. You keep validating the perspective that you are disconnected from the reality of your citizens. Absolutely. And that is a problem.
Absolutely.
In the law of comparison, it's stated that you can't compare things that are not on the same pole. So you have to compare things that are on the same strata. So yes, we have seen that other African countries, because yesterday we were talking about the fact that how is it that Nigeria is no longer great, no longer giant of Africa in its real sense? Are we really giant of Africa? We've seen other African countries that are taking the lead. For instance, in Rwanda, Paul Kagame's government has been praised for the effort to reduce wasteful government expenditure. His administration has focused on curbing corruption, increasing efficiency in public spending, cutting luxury lifestyles for officials. You also want to look at Ghana, who's very close to us here, a neighbor here. You've also seen that, under President Nana Akufo-Addo, he's also implemented measures to cut unnecessary government spending. His administration has also focused on reducing the size of government, slashing numbers of ministries and agencies. Because if you look at it, there are too many things that we're spending money to pay salary.
Everybody is feeling the pinch. So what we're saying is, whether it is Hajj, whether it is presidential fleet, whether it is, cars for your senators and all of those things, if you came under the promise of hope, under the promise of a change, under the promise of doing things differently, then at least you actually, the least we can see as Nigerians, even if, because I know that regardless of whoever had become president, the government would have faced this same challenge that we're facing today, because the economy is truly in a very, very, sensitive state right now.
So from a sovereignty perspective, from a, what I call it, a PR perspective, a brand image perspective, not to mention the security challenges, the modes of transportation of presidents is important. So the question is not whether they should have a jet. Yes, they should have a jet. If my president turned up tomorrow on a local flight, I would be embarrassed. So yes, we should have a private jet. The problem is, as it exists today, we already have a fleet. There were planes before, right? So the question is about needing to purchase a new one, right? And I keep saying that the management of the image of this administration is one that could be better, could be handled better, right? When we want to get things done, they've shown us, this administration has shown us that they will get it done. It took one speech to remove fuel subsidy. It did not take them how long to pass a new national anthem, right? So you keep validating the perspective that you are disconnected from the reality of your citizens. And that is a problem.
Our government, they don't really send us, right? But at least sometimes just pretend. Pretend like you care. Because you see, this is the point I make all the time. I always liken Nigeria and our leaders as being a mother or a parent to a child, right? Pretend that we are your children. And this is what we're going through, this is what we're facing as a people. Would you do the same thing you would do to your child? If we were your children, would you do the same thing you're doing now with Nigeria? If you could answer that question, then maybe we'll solve the problem. You see, the trajectory of this government does not seem like they understand the harsh realities that people are facing. We are talking about the cost of, recurring expenditure. High. You are talking about building new states.